him. Mr. Speaker, Madam Anne Deritu, objection was based on the fact that she is currently serving as the Registrar of Political Parties. Now, that was satisfied, Mr. Speaker, as explained by the Chair, on the issue that the disqualification is on appointment. And this nominee produced to us a ruling by our own Speaker of 4th December 2014, which has been religiously followed, that the disqualification comes at the point of appointment, and assured us that should she be successful, she will resign before appointment, and therefore it satisfied that objection. Mr. Speaker, Dr. Moses Alutalala is a man whose journey, who has had an odious educational odyssey, having qualified first as a primary school teacher with a diploma, and then rose through self-education to be one of the first parallel students in law. And his journey has been very long. But of note to us is the fact that he was admitted as an advocate in the year 2014 and was able to produce to us every practicing certificate each year since then. And that satisfies the idea of being a practitioner of at least 10 years. And that's why we were satisfied. Mr. Speaker, Mary Karen Sorobit has practiced law for 29 years. But an objection was raised that she may have been a member of the governing council of a political party, contrary to Article 88. This nominee was able to demonstrate to us that although she served as a deputy CEO in one of the political parties, she was never a member of the governing body, and went to the registrar of political parties and produced those who were members of the governing body for Jubilee since inception, and even for UDA, and therefore was able to demonstrate that she is not disqualified under that rubric. Hassan Nur Hassan is a gentleman with about 40 years in public administration as required by Section 6 of the IEBC Act. But of note was an objection that had been raised under Article 88(2)(a), that he may have vied as a governor within the last 5 years. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Hassan was able to demonstrate to us by reading the express provisions of the Constitution that the disqualification only applies to members of parliament and MCAs, not those who vie for president, not those who vie for governor. Mr. Speaker, as a committee, we came to the conclusion that you cannot import a disqualification into the express provisions of a text. And therefore, we were able to find that he was not disqualified. The other nominee is Professor Francis Aduol. Mr. Speaker, this Professor Francis Aduol was quite impressive. He is a professor of geospatial science and engineering. Shall I repeat? He's a professor of geospatial science and engineering. And part of his specialty, his first PhD, was on the study of the earth. And he told us he can actually tell where any of you are at any one point if he gets your phone number or something like that. But of importance is the fact that one of his areas is delimitation of boundaries. Delimitation, including the focus on what weight should be placed on population, size, and even poverty. And we came to the conclusion that of all the nominees, this nominee will be very helpful to the Commission when it comes to the issue of delimitation. And we are all aware that we are immensely out of time on the question of delimitation. We are also all aware that it's a very emotive matter. It was important to note that Professor Duol has worked with all the bodies that have dealt with this issue, from the Interim Independent Boundaries Commission to the Committee of Experts to the IEBC and every other body. And therefore we had no hesitation in recommending him. Mr. Speaker, Fahima Abdallah, I think that the chairman has spoken to all that there is to speak. She ticks the three very important boxes: youth, minority, and gender, and has had at least 10 years in public administration. Mr. Speaker, this particular nominee was accompanied by her father, and one of the members had the courage to ask whether she was married or not, which was not part of our consideration. And I've heard Honorable Farah objecting that the chair is casting aspersion. But Mr. Speaker, I do not see any aspersions there, because I know Honorable Farah is allowed by religion more than one wife to get even up to the fourth. And even after getting to the fourth, I am sure Honorable Farah is allowed by religion to divorce. Talak, talak, talak. So, so it means Honorable Farah remains permanently eligible.
There is a point, Honorable Farah.
Mr. Speaker, there seems to be a conspiracy against
you seem to have
no.
You seem to have exhibited some profane behavior.
No.
In the committee.
No. The senior counsel.
What is your point of order?
My point of order is that I did not say that this lady is single. You know what I mean? So, of course, somebody said.
What is your point of order? You are compounding the allegation because you seem to be very excited.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Jeanette, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I want to come to the aid of Honorable Farah. Because, Mr. Speaker, as you know, Honorable Farah is the cuckoo danger of Northern Kenya. Mr. Speaker, you know what I mean, Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
This is the real cuckoo danger, Mr. Speaker, the way you're seeing it.
Yes, Zamzam. Mama Zamzam.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niwaambie Mheshimiwa Tendo Amolo na wenzake, huyu ni mtoto wetu mrembo sana, mzuri, lakini hajakuja hapo masala ya ndoa, amekuja pale kuchapa kazi. Ni mwanamke, na wanawake wakionekana sehemu sionekane ndoa tu, wapewe nafasi yao ya kuweza kujenga taifa. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Otieno Amolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I actually agree with the Honorable Zamzam, but hasten to remind her that there is also a right to marry. So it's not excluded in the Constitution. And I am happy that Honorable Farah has sustained his excitement right from vetting to this committee. Mr. Speaker, I second.
Order member on the feet, take your seat. Who is that member with his back to the Speaker? Take your seat. Honorable members, I'll now propose the question at order number 10, which is that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the vetting of nominees for appointment as chairperson and member of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 252B of the Constitution, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. 1. Erastus Edung Ethekon, chairperson. 2. Ann Nderitu Njeri, member. 3. Moses Alutalala Muhwana, member. 4. Mary Karen Sorobit, member. 5. Hassan Nur Hassan, member. 6. Francis Odhiambo Adwol, member. And 7. Ms. Fahima Arafat Abdallah, member. Kamket, how many, honorable members, how long do you want us to take on this? How many? Let me allow some debate, and I'll call the mover to reply at 4:30. Yes, Kamket.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute to this motion.
Honorable Kamket, I have a proposal from the minority whip that you can compress your contributions in 3 minutes. I'm sure you are capable of doing that, and everybody else. Kamket?
Indeed, Mr. Speaker, what if you cannot say it in 2 minutes or 3, then you better not say it. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity. First of all, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for the ruling you made that the vetting of these commissioners or proposed nominees continues, because the attempt to block Parliament would not have been constitutional. Mr. Speaker, the delay in the appointment or in the nomination of the IEBC has been very costly to this country. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, as I speak, I feel for the people of Banisa constituency, Msambweni constituency, Magarini constituency, Ugunja, Mbeere North, Malava, as well as the constituency of the nominated member left by Honorable John Mbadi. As well as, Mr. Speaker, the several ward vacancies that have been caused by the delay in the delay of the constitution of this commission. Mr. Speaker, when the IEBC, when we approved this commission, their hands will be full as they seek, Mr. Speaker, to look at, number one, the delimitation of boundaries in the constituencies. In fact, Mr. Speaker, one of the constituencies that I believe, as we move forward, that needs to be divided into 3 is Tiaty constituency. Tiaty constituency deserves to have 3 members of parliament. It's not because that I'm not capable of representing Tiaty as it is now, but the size and the population, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, the commission needs time to look at the operationalization of the KIMS kits, because that is one of the major revolutionary achievements that we achieved as we reformed our constitution and we reformed the IEBC Act at the beginning. Mr. Speaker, one of the most important things in our election cycle is this thing called KIMS. And I want to tell all those lazy politicians who always want to blame the referee. Mr. Speaker, I have hardly spoken. And I see the red light is there. Mr. Speaker, it is important for any politician to understand that votes can only be found by hard work. All those politicians who come and blame the referee, Mr. Speaker.
Kainan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr.
Speaker, from onset, let me say I support the approval of these 7 great Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we do not have a perfect society. That's why God, the Almighty, allowed us to submit to the will of God. And the will of God also allows us to have rules in the form of regulations, constitutions, and everything else. Mr. Speaker, having said this, these individuals have gone through all the due process. We have an election, we have a constitution, we have an election act, Mr. Speaker. The election act stipulates that we ought to have a panel. The panel mandate is clearly spelled out, Mr. Speaker. We have the Public Appointment Act. We have the vetting, the entire process. They have gone through, they have been subjected to public participation, The public have also had the right to say what they wanted to say, and ultimately the concerned committee made a decision that these 7 individuals were eligible to be approved by this House. But Mr. Speaker, we must speak as Kenyans. We have politicized literally everything, Mr. Speaker, in this country. Isn't it the high time that we think out of the box and be prepared to contribute to the continued peace, stability, respect, and tranquility, Mr. Speaker, so that as a country we are respected, we respect ourselves, we are respected regionally, we are respected continentally, and we are respected globally, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, right now, everything bad in this region, we have been projected as a society that ever complains. We have been projected as a society that does not believe in itself. We have been projected as a society that does not have faith in its own administrative mechanism. Mr. Speaker, I know managing elections is a very difficult time. The membership, out of the 7, quite a number of them come from the pastoral community. Wherever they are, I want to ask them this. You have been entrusted with a very important exercise. I may not talk to you individually, but collectively, we want you to carry the image of this republic. We want you to continue to project the respect the Kenyan people, through this parliament, have allowed you. Mr. Speaker, I do know right now that many people maliciously, capriciously, have tried to impute improper motive on these individuals. Mr. Speaker, I do know that once they are approved, and I pray that this other process is going to be shortened, they will carry the flag of this country high, they will project our image, they will continue to protect Kenya as a very...
Edekon, the chair for IEBC. Edekon, the chair for IEBC. Honorable Speaker, this is a demonstration of equity, a demonstration of inclusion, and Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the committee plus those who were able to nominate him. Honorable Speaker, first, this is a rare gem, Honorable Speaker, and I will want to attach it to a hummingbird, that in the first northern frontiers of Kenya, we were able to get a man who was determined and was able to rise up from a humble background, from the dust, from areas that are excluded, from areas that are always denied an opportunity, to where he has become. Honorable Speaker, as a hummingbird again, Erastus was able to become the first breed of law students from Turkana. And Honorable Speaker, as a hummingbird, he was able to flap his wings very hard many times to be what he became and to even be interviewed in that panel. Honorable Speaker, second, Erastus has been able to even be interviewed as a judge for this country. An opportunity was not able to get, but given his background, Erastus rose to be interviewed in that committee or board. Honorable Speaker, as at now, I want to say as a hummingbird, this Erastus will be able to go fast and even be able to land at an opportune time. Second, this guy will be able to even maneuver in the darkness and be able to get the direction. And Honorable Speaker, this is a man that I know, given our democracy, he will be able to be acquitted with whichever that is required and be able to give us a drop of what it means to have a fair election. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I submit.
Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kupongeza kamati ambayo iliweza kuwapiga msasa hawa makamishna, wakahakikisha kuwa baada ya muda mrefu Wanakenya walikuwa wanauliza tunaelekea wapi, mwisho wakawapa jawabu kuwa ni hawa ambao wameteuliwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, niweze kuwapongeza makamishna wote ambao wameteuliwa wakiongozwa na mwenyekiti wao, na niseme kuwa kama Wanakenya tunafurahi kwa sababu tumeona wamechanganya. Leo tumepata chair ambayo ametoka katika jamii ambayo ni ya wachache, na hii inaonyesha kuwa Kenya tumekubali uongozi ni kutoka mahali popote. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi hasa ninasimama kwa sababu ya mtoto wangu ama mwanangu ama niseme mtoto wa Pwani, Faima, ambaye ametoka katika jamii ndogo sana kule Shela. Mheshimiwa Spika, nilikuwa nafuatilia vetting yao wakati unapigwa msasa, na nilikuwa naangalia maswali vile yanavyoulizwa katika ile kamati, na nikasema huyu mtoto ama youth amekuwa na ujasiri mkubwa sana, na ameshika bendera ya vijana wetu katika taifa kwa kuweza kuonyesha kuwa pia vijana wana nguvu na ari ya kushika katika sehemu kama hizi ambazo ni sehemu kubwa sana katika taifa. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi napenda kuombea Mungu, najua hino kazi na mitihani mingi sana, lakini nawaombea Mungu inshallah wakati ambapo utafika wa kuanza kufanya kazi zao, wao wanaweza kulindwa na Mwenyezi Mungu na wasimame na haki na usawa. Hatutaki kuangalia ama kuona maafa katika taifa, tunawategemea kutoa haki kwa wananchi. Na Faima, mimi nasema kama mama kaunti wa Mombasa, na kuombea Mungu sana. Umetuheshimisha wanawake, na umeheshimisha vijana. Ulizungumza kwa ujasiri, umeonyesha elimu yako ilipofikia, na mimi napenda sana na nimependezwa sana, na kuombea Mwenyezi Mungu na azidi kukubariki pamoja na wenzako, na Kenya izidi kuenda mbele. Kwa hiyo tuko tayari kwenye uchaguzi. Mheshimiwa Spika, asante sana.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to rise in support of this motion for the approval of the nominees for the IEBC Commission. Honorable Speaker, first is worth noting, Honorable Speaker, that as much as the committee and the panel have done a very good job in vetting these nominees, first the panel in interviewing them and the committee in vetting them, we have been without an IEBC Commission now for the last almost 3 years. And we are indeed 3 years late in establishing an IEBC Commission. That's why, Honorable Speaker, I agree with you when you said that there is nobody under our Constitution who can injunct us from either vetting or approving these names. Honorable Speaker, I also want to speak to those who are in the judiciary to be considerate of the circumstances that we are in as a nation. Honorable Speaker, moving on to the nominees, it's saddening, Honorable Speaker, that because of politics, a number of us out there had started demonizing some of these nominees, largely on account of where they come from.
Although you are entitled 15 minutes, but I want you to be considerate and speak for much less.
I will endeavor to do that, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was saying it was very inconsiderate also, now that I want to be considerate, to hear somebody who has held a high national office assert that Erastus, the nominee, Mr. Erastus,